For much of the 20th century, space was considered a near-perfect vacuum, cold, empty and electrically neutral. However, this view has changed dramatically in recent decades. Thanks to advances in radio astronomy and plasma physics, we have come to understand that space is not only filled with matter, but that this matter is in a different state entirely, a state dominated by electromagnetic forces. The universe, it turns out, is wired. The electric web of the cosmos. Radio telescopes have revealed the universe in new and remarkable detail. Beyond the familiar pinpricks of stars and galaxies lies an intricate filamentary network. These filaments span light years and form the backbone of what cosmologists now refer to as the cosmic web. From a plasma cosmology perspective, these structures are more than mere aggregations of matter. They are conduits of electrical energy. Were Sherlock Holmes a cosmologist, he might have said, "It's filamentary, my dear Watson." These structures were not a surprise to everyone. Over a century ago, Norwegian physicist Christian Bjørkeland theorized the existence of electric currents in space. Today, these currents bear his name, Bjørkeland currents. His insights were nothing short of visionary. Quote, "It seems to be a natural consequence of our points of view to assume that the whole of space is filled with electrons and flying electric ions of all kinds." Close quote. He went further. Quote, "It does not seem unreasonable, therefore, to think that the greater part of the material masses in the universe are not in the systems or nebula, but in empty space." Close quote. Modern observations now confirm that 99% of the observable universe is plasma, a state of matter distinct from solids, liquids and gases, composed of free electrons and ions. Plasma is highly conductive and responds intensely to electromagnetic fields. A new view through new eyes. Images from traditional telescopes show stars and galaxies scattered across a dark void. But switch to radio frequencies and a very different picture emerges. Filaments, threads and arcs connecting these islands of matter. They look strikingly like electrical wiring on a cosmic scale. The Thunderbolts project captured this paradigm shift eloquently. The cosmic theatre has outgrown the Newtonian stage. Instead of a vision of isolated bodies turning gear-like in a vacuum, we need a vision of electrical circuits embedded in a conducting medium. We have entered a world of plasma, where the rules are different and more complex. We now live in an electric universe. Revisiting the basics. Understanding the cosmos through the lens of plasma cosmology doesn't require academic qualifications. Just a few fundamental principles of electromagnetism can open the door. Electric currents generate magnetic fields. Magnetic fields, in turn, constrict these currents in plasma, a phenomenon known as the Z-pinch or Bennett pinch. Hannes Alfvén, a Nobel Prize-winning physicist and the father of modern plasma physics, continued the good work of Christian Bjørkeland. He was not one to pull his punches. Quote, "Important fields of research are still based on a neglect of Bennett's discovery more than half a century ago. Present-day students in astrophysics hear nothing about it." Close quotes. Simple experiments, profound implications. In a compelling demonstration, inventor Brian Romella uses ball bearings and electric fields to show how structure emerges from chaos through simple polarity. The particles quickly self-organize into recognizable patterns, the same kind of patterns observed in natural systems at every scale. As above, so below, you might say, or the microcosm and the macrocosm. Available on the high street, novelty plasma lamps demonstrate similar behaviours. Strands of plasma dance chaotically, constrained by their containers. Now, imagine these plasma strands on a galactic scale, stretching for billions of light years and connecting galaxies and entire galaxy clusters. It should be noted that plasmas have three basic modes of operation. Dark mode, invisible to the naked eye, like power lines at night. Glow mode, seen in neon signs and novelty plasma lamps. and arc mode, high energy discharges like lightning and the surface of the sun. Mainstream astronomy often refers to plasmas as hot gases, but this is misleading. Plasmas follow their own unique set of physical laws. Alfvén cautions strongly against relying on abstract mathematical models. He sometimes referred to them as mathematical castles in the air. Quote, the underlying assumptions of cosmologists today are developed with the most sophisticated mathematical models, and it's only the plasma itself which does not understand how beautiful the theories are and absolutely refuses to obey them. Close quote. Earlier episodes in this series have highlighted the dangers of an approach based principally on mathematical modelling. Quote, as far as the laws of mathematics refer to reality, they are not certain, and as far as they are certain, they do not refer to reality. Close quote. Albert Einstein. Paradigm lag, where science stalls. There is a familiar pattern when new ideas challenge the status quo. Firstly, they are laughed at and ridiculed. Secondly, they are ignored or their importance is denied. And finally, they are accepted as self-evident. Right now, plasma cosmology resides somewhere between stages 1 and 2. Mainstream astrophysics still views gravity as the driving force behind the cosmos and cosmic evolution, treating magnetism as a curious side note and electricity as, well, virtually non-existent. As this channel is fond of pointing out, the NASA website had this to say in the 90s. Quote, on the cosmological scale, there is no data to suggest that magnetic fields are present. They are certainly not important in the dynamics of the universe for any reasonable range of field strengths consistent with present observational constraints. Close quote. By 2011, this tone had softened. Universe Today reported, quote, the mention of cosmic scale magnetic fields is still likely to be met with an uncomfortable silence in some astronomical circles, and after a bit of foot shuffling and throat clearing, the discussion would be moved on to safer topics. But look, they're out there. They probably do play a role in galaxy evolution, if not galaxy formation, and they are certainly a feature of the interstellar and intergalactic medium. Close quote. Progress, it seems, is painfully slow. Hannes Alfvén was quicker out of the blocks. Quote, in order to understand the phenomenon in a certain plasma region, it is necessary to map not only the magnetic but also the electric field and the electric currents. Space is filled with a network of currents which transfer energy and momentum over large or very large distances. Close quote. Alfvén began his career as an electrical engineer before moving into plasma physics. Similarly, Dr. Charles Bruce, a specialist in high-voltage electrical engineering, applied his practical knowledge to the study of cosmic phenomena. Bruce was a fellow of the Royal Astronomical Society. He recognized cosmic jets, solar flares, magnetic fields, and extreme temperatures in space as electrical discharge phenomena. Quote, and even if one regards the electric fields as merely another postulate, it has the great advantage that it is the one postulate which, in my view, renders all the others unnecessary. Close quotes. Cosmic alignments. Another clue? Alignment is a pleasing word. It evokes harmony and unity, but it also reveals a problem for standard cosmology. In 2011, astronomer Brian Rees observed that several planetary nebulae appeared aligned with the galactic plane. This wasn't a one-off. A 2013 report from the European Southern Observatory confirmed that many butterfly-shaped nebulae in the Milky Way central bulge were also mysteriously aligned. Quote, astronomers have used the ESO's New Technology Telescope and the Hubble Space Telescope to explore more than 100 planetary nebulae in the central bulge of our galaxy. They have found that butterfly-shaped members of this cosmic family tend to be mysteriously aligned, a surprising result given their different histories and varied properties. Close quote. Rees and his colleagues suggested that magnetism originating at the galactic bulge may have influenced the nebulae producing the alignments. Quote, This really is a surprising finding, and if it holds true, a very important one. The alignment we're seeing for these bipolar nebulae indicates something bizarre about star systems within the central bulge. Close quote. Once again, though, electricity was left out of the equation. Plasma cosmology, by contrast, offers a straightforward explanation. Electromagnetic forces shape these structures and their orientation. Stars more than nuclear furnaces? Plasma cosmology also reimagines our local star, the Sun, as a giant ball of plasma. Forget the hot gases often talked about in orthodox astronomy. Quote, "The forthcoming scientific revolution is presaged by the rapid pace of discoveries about our own star, the Sun, and its total plasma environment." Close quote, plasmas.org. While Thornhill, co-founder of the Thunderbolts project, goes further. He proposes that the Sun and stars are part of a vast, electrically interconnected system. Several of his peer-reviewed papers can be viewed at the prestigious IEEE Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineers website. A crisis in cosmology. Billions are spent propping up standard cosmological models. They rely heavily on speculative entities like dark matter, dark energy, and black holes. These ideas often serve to patch holes in gravitational models, but fail to address underlying physical mechanisms. Meanwhile, pop science presentations promote these ideas as settled science, leaving no room for alternative models. The result is a widespread public misperception and an underfunded, underrepresented body of research into plasma phenomena. Nevertheless, science headlines occasionally offer tantalizing hints. From Universe Today, imaging the galaxy's centre in unprecedented detail reveals more mysterious filaments. From Vice magazine, scientists discover cosmic web filaments are rotating just like a Bjerkeland current. From newscientist.com, a cosmic jet 2 billion light-years away is carrying the highest electric current ever seen, 10 to the power of 18 amps, equivalent to 1 trillion bolts of lightning. Dr. Raghavendra Sahai, JPL Caltech. What we thought we understood of planetary nebula, we no longer do. Something different and dramatic is going on. One doesn't have to dig too far to find evidence that the standard model is straining under the weight of its assumptions. Draw your own conclusions. The evidence for an electrically active universe continues to grow. While the mainstream inches forward at snail's pace, constrained by ideology, plasma cosmology, on the other hand, offers a coherent, empirically grounded framework that explains cosmic phenomena without resorting to exotic hypotheticals, unseen matter and undetectable energies. Is the universe held together by invisible scaffolding and mysterious forces, much loved by the mathematicians, or is it bound by electricity, a force we understand well, but have grossly underestimated on the cosmic scale? In the next episode, Misconception 8, we'll tackle another widespread myth. Where is the educational deficiency?